Hello, my name is Pashupatinath. I'm the lineage authority of a very ancient school of yoga called Trilok Akhada, which was established by the founder of yoga, Shankarnath, 17,000 years ago. In today's podcast, I want to talk to you about emotional readiness. What is it? We often think that we're ready to do something like learn yoga or anything else, whatever it may be. Start a business, start a family, get married, find a job, go to college, whatever it is. If you're not emotionally ready, you're going to mess it up. Did you know this? If when you think about it, you don't feel positive emotions like joy, gratitude, love, and ambition, and determination, and enthusiasm, if you don't feel these things, when you think about what you're going to do next, then you're not emotionally ready. Don't take action when you feel that way, because it's really going to end up being counterproductive, being something other than what you've imagined it to be. Because if you're not emotionally ready, your body doesn't manufacture all of these adrenal blends of chemicals that you actually need to get up and take positive action. That's called Kriya Shakti in yoga, the ability to take action. So, whatever you've been thinking of over the past few days, thinking of doing, or committing to doing, getting into a committed relationship, getting into a job, getting into anything that requires your time and energy, I think you should think about it and notice the emotions that are coming up. Because when you're emotionally ready is when you're actually ready. You may intellectually be ready. You may have all the arguments for why you should do this at this point. But if your emotions don't agree, then I'm sorry to inform you that it won't be a success. You just cannot do it. You won't have the drive to do it. You won't be able to pull it through. Now, how do you develop emotional readiness? Most of the times, there's no real reason why we're not emotionally ready. Because emotions don't respond to reason. You should know this. Emotions respond to what they've heard, what you've heard in the past 24 hours. This is the big secret. I don't know if you've heard this before. But I've been saying this for years, and it's true because I've been experimenting with it. And it's a teaching of yoga, which I received from my akhada when I was living in the Himalayas. I mean, I still do, but now I live in the Shivaliks, not on the snow-capped peaks, which is less adventurous. But when I was a student in the Himalayas at my akhada, I learned this, that whatever information, when I was there was no Facebook, there was no news, and there was nobody to meet except my teachers. So I learned really fast because I didn't have anything else, no other triggers that made me emotionally unready to learn. I really looked forward to the next day, and that's how I kept learning. But that's not how it is when I teach yoga online. When I teach yoga online, then people have all sorts of exposure. Just like they're exposed to germs and bacteria, they're exposed to ideas that are counterproductive to what their goals are. So how do you manage it? Whenever this idea comes in, and if you're not alert when the idea comes in that opposes your goal, it could be a small doubt that is put in your mind. Just a small doubt is enough. And then it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows, and then it becomes an emotional disease, a lack of ease emotionally. You're now with disturbed emotions. I hope you all can relate to what I'm saying. If your emotions are disturbed, your actions are going to be unsteady, unfocused, and really not confident. So, how do you know when your emotions are disturbed? If after trying something, you are finding it very difficult and you're not enjoying the process, you're not feeling happy. If you fail and you feel happy, then it's all right, because you're learning. That's what learning is all about. Learning is failing with enthusiasm. That's what learning is. But if you're failing with depression, if you're failing with disgust, if you're failing with fear, if you're failing with anger, if you're failing with discomfort, then you better pay attention. You have been poisoned in the past 24 hours by some idea that's been growing in your brain. You need to protect yourself from these things. And I'm going to now tell you how to do that. Okay? So it's very important. I hope you understand the importance of it now. I always protect myself. And how do I protect myself? Very simple. It's really very simple. It's the power of ritual. Alright? So, what is ritual? Ritual is something that you repeat at regular intervals. Now, this can be daily, this can be once in a year, this can be once every 5 minutes. As long as you do it in repetition, it's called a ritual. So, rituals are really important to protect you. For example, you might have the ritual of checking if all of your doors are locked when you leave the house, whether the stove is off, whether heaters are off. That's a ritual for safety. You may have a ritual of brushing your teeth every day. I hope you do. And that's a ritual also for your own safety, so you don't get infected in your mouth. And then also so that you don't have bad breath and then lose your friends. So there are many rituals that we develop for various reasons. We have to develop rituals now that make sure that we are emotionally ready for everything that we want to do. How would you design this? Have you ever thought about this? It's actually really very simple. Just as you check to make sure that your doors are locked because you fear for your safety, in the same way, if you are cautious, then you can protect yourself against your own emotional unreadiness. How do you get emotionally ready? You'll need a beeper. Yes, a beeper. Something that goes off every half hour. You can get an app either on Android or iOS. There are a lot of them. Download an app that makes your phone beep every half hour. Some of them let you also type in a message. So that message needs to flash on your phone screen every half hour. Once you set that up, choose the message with care. The message has to be something that makes you happy. Something that makes you emotionally ready for what it is that you want to do. So let's say that I want to learn yoga without obstacles. So I'm going to say, every time that I think about, every time that beeper goes off, I'm going to say to myself that I will protect my enthusiasm to learn yoga? Is there anything opposing it right now inside me? If there is, I will find it and I will fix it. Something like that. Do you get the idea? It's vigilance. You need to check within yourself. And this beeper is to remind you. And so even if there is something, and you need the eventuality, if you need to prepare for the eventuality that you may have something inside you that you can't identify or you can't deal with, or you're not prepared to deal with right now. Say, if I find any obstacle inside of me, then I will not build any obstacle inside of me that I can't deal with, then I will not build any expectations of learning yoga today. I will first deal with whatever this is. And I will announce to all the stakeholders of me learning yoga, if there are any, like my teacher, I will inform him or her that I will not be able to practice today because this is the problem. So when you make this kind of algorithms in your brain, see, this is an algorithm now. You've been able to deal with. See, if I'm able to deal with it, it's like that prayer, right? Which St. Francis of Assisi made. Lord, give me the serenity to accept what I cannot change, and the courage to change what I can. And it goes something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's an algorithm. So once he says that prayer, there's no eventuality that he's not prepared for. He's prepared for everything. He's prepared to accept what he cannot change. He's prepared to change what he can. So something like that. You need to make an algorithm. So now my beeper goes off and then I'm thinking, what can I do? Am I emotionally ready to learn yoga? Is that happening? Do I feel positive about it? If I do, then it's great. No problem. If I don't feel positive about it, can I fix it? If I can, that's great. Can I not fix it? If I can't, then I drop the expectation that I'm going to learn yoga and I inform all the stakeholders that I won't be able to learn yoga now, and then it's up to them. If they can help me, I'll ask them for help. And if not, if I want to wallow in the feeling and think about it and solve it myself, that's all right too. You see, you've got to have this clarity about what you're going to do. But you must know at any point, am I emotionally ready or am I not emotionally ready? And don't take action when you're not emotionally ready. Okay? I hope this helped. It's not really rocket science. Anybody can learn this. I'll just summarize it once. Whenever we want to do something, we have to be emotionally ready if you're going to take positive action, because your body supports you when you take positive action by creating the right. When you have positive emotions, your body supports you by creating the right adrenal blends which help you have drive and vigor in your actions. And if you don't have that, you're going to disappoint a lot of people who are invested in you taking these actions. So then it's important to let them know that you don't have the emotional readiness to do it right now, and this might be the reason, or the reason is a mystery and you need more time to figure it out. Have these communications clear. It's not like anybody will not understand you. Everybody will understand you because they go through the same things. They lie though that they don't, but they go through it. Everybody in the world goes through places where they're not emotionally ready, and we must pay attention to this. You can't just blast your way through it with positive affirmations. You can't do that. So you check whether you're emotionally ready to do what it is that you want to do. Somewhere the idea that you're not emotionally ready or this is not rewarding has crept into your consciousness. Now, is this truth or is it just unverified fiction that's holding you back? So you'll have to check it, right? Thoroughly examine it. Don't be afraid. So, in other words, it's admitting that you're not ready. That's all. Your parents want you to get married, but you're not emotionally ready. You have to inform them that you're not emotionally ready for this yet, because when you think about it, you get negative feelings. And they may, of course, try to fix it, and you may accept their attempts to fix it. But to not communicate it is terrible. It's the worst thing that you can do. To suppress it is the worst thing that you can do. You know what happens to things? Seeds that are buried, they become trees. So don't bury the seeds of your doubt. They become trees of doubt with fruits of doubt which make more seeds of doubt. So watch out for this. Your mind is fertile. Don't bury anything in your mind that you don't want to grow. That you don't want it to grow, So be careful about this. Do not bury seeds of discord in your own mind. All right. So that was the information for today. I hope you found it useful. If you found it useful, please share it with other people who you think will find it useful so that you can make a happier environment for yourself. And in case you want to learn yoga from me and you find yourself being emotionally ready for this, you can visit my website dailypashupati.com and click on the longevity course, which is my favorite course, and it's the only one I want to sell right now because it helps you to live long, make a lot of mistakes, and learn and become truly wise. You can become very experienced, but you needn't age with my course. And you can live a lot longer than your expected life expectancy of 80 years. I mean, if you're going to die in 80 years, what's the point of anything anyway, right? Don't you want to extend your life? If you want to extend your life and give yourself a good chance on exploring this beautiful earth and living here with the love of many beings, then this course is for you. All right. Thank you for listening. You can get in touch with me also on the website. All my details are there. If you have any questions about this podcast, feel free to ask me. You can mail your questions to dailypashupati, DAILYPASHUPATI @gmail.com. Mail your questions and I'll be happy to do a podcast upon it tomorrow or day after. You can't really say when the next podcast is going to come because I live in the mountains and there are many things that can happen in a day, like the weather. But I'm going to try and make a podcast every day so that you can have a voice of reason from the ancient Nath yoga practices that helps you with your day-to-day life. All right. Thank you for listening.